happen to go upstairs, and I take the 8-ball out, and I do a little bump, and I thought I cleaned up my mess, and I didn't clean up my mess, and I go back downstairs, and I start playing a video game, and then she goes upstairs, and she sees the mess, and she comes down, and she just started yelling, like, you motherfucker, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, shit. And at this time, she's like 7 months pregnant. So I go upstairs, and I'm seeing the mess, like, oh, fuck. She's still yelling at me, and she's pointing her finger all in my head. And, you know, I'm a big believer. Men should never put their hands on a woman. Yeah. But what ended up happening was, I had this big bed, and the bed was so big, you need the stairs to climb up on it, just 3 stairs to climb up on it. And she was just poking at me and yelling at me. I ended up shoving her out the way, like get out the way. Anyway, she ended up tripping over a shoe and hitting her stomach on ended up hitting her stomach on a stair. And at the time, me being under the influence, I really didn't think nothing of it. I just thought she tripped and she'll be okay. Make a long story short, she ended up like, I got to go to the hospital. And I know, it took a long time for me to share the story, but I have to share it because it's part of my story.
Yeah.
And, you know, we went to the hospital and she ended up giving birth. And she gave birth and the baby came out. I named him and he ended up dying in my hands in like 5 minutes. And I'm looking at the nurses like, are you guys going to save him? And they didn't do nothing. There was nothing they can do. So now right at that moment is when I lost my faith in God. Not only did you take my career from me, now you're taking my child from me. So what God would put any human through this type of pain?
Still pretty funny,
right?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Plays,
he was one of my first.
He still
favorite
plays. He
comedians.
voices over the Donkey and Shrek.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
Do they have a new Shrek out?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
they?
I don't know.
I
God,
don't
that's
think
terrible. That
so.
could be 5 years ago. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm lost in time. I'm lost in time somewhere.
I
Yeah.
mean, what do you have, a 5-year-old?
5-year-old, yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah, 5.
Wow.
And a 15 and a 13-year-old.
My youngest is 15.
Yeah.
I'm
You got
good.
kids?
Yeah, I got 4.
4. Wow. That's a...
What ages are your kids?
The oldest, I got a stepdaughter, is 31. And then the rest are 26, 28, and 21.
Nice.
Yeah, grown already. That's good. So you're enjoying your wife.
Most definitely.
Nice.
As soon as the last one went to college,
Right?
California.
God.
No more babysitting.
No.
Yeah, I was like, I'm let's see, 15. She's a sophomore, so 3 more years.
Oh,
I got 3
ready
more
for
years.
that?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm actually. I'm not ready for them to grow up. My son's a senior this year. Most likely going to be heading off to Baylor.
Oh,
Next year. So I don't know how I feel about all that.
you're going to get mushy inside.
Yeah.
Your daddy duties are going to be damn near over with.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And you know what's nice is going with his girlfriend, his high school sweetheart. That's pretty cool.
Oh, my son?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have a high school sweetheart.
They're making that plan to go together.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I didn't have the heart to really tell him what life is really like when you get
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was just sitting here
Yeah,
thinking. like, that
bro, I
college
didn't
life,
want to
like,
tell
oh
him,
my
listen,
God.
I don't know if that's a great
That's
idea
going
or
to be a lot
not.
of arguments.
Yeah,
Man.
I know. I know. I didn't want to start the
I've
conversation.
never met 2 kids though that are so focused on what they're doing in life. So,
Yeah. They could be the
her
exception.
parents are high school sweethearts.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his parents are not, unfortunately.
Wow.
But
Well, they're going to do good things.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
Baylor's
sure
a
they
great
got
spot.
somebody like you to back them up. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been good.
Yeah, it's been great.
So we, Mike.
Mike, yeah, just make sure it's really cool.
Actually,
Make
just,
sure-
just
can you hear me?
Yeah, you can push it closer to you.
Oh, okay.
And then
Moves. Yeah.
There we go.
I just like if I just grab it sometimes
Yeah.
if I move. 'cause
that
I
makes
move
sense.
all the
That
time.
makes
Yeah.
sense. I didn't know
Um,
how delicate it was.
No,
yeah.
not at all.
Yep. No.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
Chuck, you got him in here good? Oh, look, we got 2 engineers in
Yeah,
here
it's
today.
beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is
Doing
good.
the thing.
Feel like freaking better than Joe Rogan.
Right?
Feel more like Logan Paul in now. They got like a whole crew of
Back
people
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times.
Well, hey, we Michelangelo, are we live? All right. I mean,
All right, we're on.
up.
we're live. Yeah, we're live.
Nice.
So what's happening, man?
Yeah.
Not much, man. I'm grateful that you guys invited me here.
We're happy you came in. This guy walked in. I looked up. Second time this month I had to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a football player in here.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He wasn't
How
as
tall
tall
was he?
No,
wasn't-
not as
not
big
as tall as you.
not as tall as him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
7, 6'8", 6'9".
No, he was like 6'6".
Is that it?
6'5". I think you're 6'4" now. You shrunk.
I
it.
am shrinking.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get older. You start shrinking. I'm waiting on that time to happen to me.
God help us.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'10".
6'10".
Yeah.
Oh.
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a real tall guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you could swat Kobe.
Oh, most definitely. The only person you can't really touch is Shaquille.
Yeah.
That's a monster.
Right. Yeah.
That's a monster. That's a big tree.
I
Yeah.
mean, that was the best days of my life was watching Shaq, Kobe, Derek Fisher, all those guys winning those championships. I was down there in the 6th row during that time.
Oh, straight 3D action.
Yeah. And my Shaq would just he would just turn on people and they would just go.
You can't do nothing with them. All you can do is try to maintain. You can't do nothing with them. You do too much, you're going to get hurt. Guarantee you're going to get hurt.
Just get out the way.
Get out the way. And just let him do his thing. Just pray and hope he misses the next shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's that big.
Oh, he's a monster.
The only guy that stood next to him that nobody ever made him look small, but Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Yao Ming
Yeah.
would stand, but Yao's he had big legs, but like his upper body, he kind of
super thin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when he stood next, he was taller than Shaq.
Yeah.
But
He's such a beautiful character though. When I see him on TV now, on broadcasting or whatever, he seems like a beautiful guy.
I think he's a really good man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a good heart. He
Yeah.
does a lot of things for people on the outside.
Yeah.
Just at the drop of a dime, just
Right.
because he feels like doing it.
Well, I heard every time he goes out to Walmart or anywhere, he buys someone in line
Yeah.
bikes or stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what I seen on YouTube.
I heard he, but yeah, no, I heard he was at a restaurant and he bought everybody dinner.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's
just
amazing.
dropped
Good for
like
him.
50 grand.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good soul right there.
he's doing well though.
Yeah, he is.
He's the general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been there for
On the
10,
insurance.
15,
On the
20 Yeah,
insurance.
he's been there forever.
he sells printers. Somebody was
Yeah.
saying, I think it was Chuck. What is it? Charles Barkley was saying. You turn on the TV and every damn commercial Shaq's in.
Yeah.
Shaq's in it. He's doing everything.
Yeah, everything.
That's how you keep the money rolling in.
Yeah, yeah. Good PR guys. Smart.
Yeah. He doesn't drink alcohol at all either.
Nah. Well, I know I was watching a podcast and he said that he drinks at home. He don't drink outside of the house.
Oh.
Because he's just scared of what may happen. He don't want to put that on his family.
Oh,
He don't
good
want
for
that.
him.
Yeah. I wish I was able to do that.
Right.
I wish I was able to do
that
it.
responsibility.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
The wheels came off.
No wheel. All my wheels always came off. Seat buckle and everything. Everything came off.
God.
Tell us a little bit about your life.
All right. Well,
Yeah, growing up, stuff like that. You know,
no
it started
problem.
early.
No problem. I'm originally from Chicago. My mom moved to Minnesota, I'll say in the early 80s. She just left my dad, packed up and left my dad. I guess her and him didn't see eye to eye for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I never really got that understanding on why. But anyways, I'm the youngest in my family. I got 3 older brothers, 2 older sisters, and I don't think my story don't really begins with the alcohol and addict addiction. I think I already had a problem. You know, at an early age, I found out I was very dyslexic, and because of that, I kind of stayed shelled up. And what I would do is, like, when I went to school or hung out with people on the outside, I would do pretty much anything and hang out with everybody. Like, so if I was hanging out with some people that were drinking or gangbanging, That's who I am for that day or at that moment. And back at home, it was me being the youngest, and everybody in my family's tall, everybody. So and they're big, so it was like survival of the fittest. And I used to have a resentment towards my mom, but as I got sober, I started realizing like she did the best she can. She was very, very disciplined, making us very, very hold ourselves accountable in the household and outside the household. And it was hard. I felt like I got stepped on and forgotten about a lot. And because of the house and because of my dyslexia, it was just a whole lot of like hiding who I really was. I didn't know who I really was. And it took a long time for me to figure out who I really was. And lo and behold, just walking around, growing up, people, oh man, you're tall. You should be on somebody's basketball team. You should be on somebody's basketball team. And this got to a point at my age, it was just like, all right, let me go try this sport out. And God blessed me with the skills to play. And I thank him for that. But it took me a while to really understand that I had the skills to play. I wasn't really comfortable in my skin. You get tall and your body don't grow the same. So I was just lanky and I couldn't catch and I couldn't run. So I still felt like an outcast. And I tell you, I started smoking weed was my first drug. I started doing it about 8th or 9th grade. It wasn't a lot. It was just off and on with the guys at school. We'd ditch school and smoke. Just like other alcoholics and addicts. You start drinking or getting high in the beginning just based on the fun. And I was doing it based on the fun, but also to be able to fit in because I didn't know who I really was. And by the grace of God, basketball started helping me figure out who I really was. And I thought that basketball was my destiny. I thought that was it. So I stuck with it. And I just kept playing. And honestly, after high school, like I didn't really have no plans on graduating. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. People used to ask me what I wanted to do. And I know it was a far-fetched dream, but my answer would be the typical dream as any athlete. I'm gonna be a professional athlete. And it was far-fetched and I had no plans on doing that. I just wanted to smoke weed and drink for the rest of my life. Just like everybody, I'm gonna smoke weed forever. I just found my dream. This is it right here. This is me. This is how I'm able to fit in. You have a couple drinks, you can be comfortable, you can be whoever you wanted to be. And I enjoyed it. But I ended up graduating high school and I ain't never gonna forget it. Before I was able to even start college, they made me go to summer school. I was so dyslexic, like my communication, I couldn't communicate. I couldn't look people in the eye. I couldn't read, and like they knew it. My coach knew it. Everybody knew it, and they were just like they pretty much told me that I had to go take these courses so I can get up to speed on college courses in order to start school. And I tell you, man, that was one of my hardest, most accomplished summers I ever had. And all that did, honestly, was build my confidence. It built my ego. Basketball had already started building my ego. The fact that I was able to go to college and play basketball and graduate from high school, my head and my ego got huge. So the fact that I started overcoming my dyslexia, you couldn't tell me shit. Am I able to swear?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you couldn't really tell me shit. And honestly, I started having this feeling in my life that I'm doing this on my own. Like anything that I do up to whenever, can't nobody tell me not to. I can't. You don't have a right to tell me that. I earned everything that I choose to do, whether it's bad or good. I earned the right to do this. And honestly, smoking weed and drinking was going to be a passion that I was going to take with me. The last thing we expect when we're using is to be an alcoholic or addict.
Right.
That's the last thing on our mind.
Yeah.
We at least I enjoyed it. I thought I was able to be me when I was in my zone as far as smoking and drinking. I wasn't going to go past those drugs. But of course, when I get to college, I get introduced to ecstasy, and I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I just found the best drug on the planet. Oh. And I tell you, man, like I got addicted to it so fast. I'm never going to forget it. I used to do it from Wednesday to Sunday. And the reason I know them days, because those days I went out to the club. And we always had a basketball game on Friday or Saturday. And I used to play just under the influence. I used to play high, just still hungover from the night before, still feeling the X pill from the night before. And I didn't care who judged me. Like, it didn't matter. It was like you wanted me on your basketball team. I felt like, honestly, that I don't know how I got here, but I'm going to take it for what it's worth. I'm going to take advantage of it any way I want to, and I'm going to do whatever I feel like. And if they don't like it, just tell me to move on. I'll move on because I don't deserve to be here. That's just how the attitude that I had. And I don't know why I had that attitude, but I felt like I earned everything myself. So I was going to live my life to the best of my ability, and my best of my ability was to enjoy my life. And it went on for some years, man. And then I didn't know how to get an agent, to be honest. But let me back up. So in college, I was getting so fucked up that my coach was telling me, he was like, okay, man, like you gotta drop a piss test randomly. You have to drop a piss test randomly, no matter what. You have to. And I was like, all right, cool. So when he told me that, I tell you, anytime he told me I had to take a piss, I put anything I can find. I put disinfectant spray in my piss, bleach in my piss. I get another player's piss. I even tried apple juice.
Did it work?
Hell no. The only thing that honestly worked was the disinfectant.
Oh, really?
Well, I put too much bleach one time, and they called me. Was like, dude, your piss smell like bleach. You got to come back. You got to come back and piss again. I'm like, I'm not coming back. I'll come back tomorrow. Here I'm thinking, if I sweat, and get all it out, I can go back and piss tomorrow. Man, what I realize now is once you start sweating after smoking weed so long, weed it's held in your fat cells.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away in 30 days. It stays in your fat cells. And I didn't know that back then. So anyway, I go and piss, and I failed the drug test. And at that moment, I was really like, kick me off the team. It don't matter. Because honestly, I swear, because my brothers, they were gangbanging. Like my whole household, besides one of my sisters, were addicts and alcoholics. My brothers were gangbanging in and out of prison. So I was destined to go to jail. I was destined to be in a gang. I was destined to be the man that my brothers was. That was my role models as men, my brothers. And that's what I looked up to. So like I had the idea that a man holds his ground, a man doesn't cry. A man, he's assertive. He does what the fuck he want to do by all means necessary. He takes care of himself by all means necessary. And I had that life. In my head. So I just kept running with it. But anyways, I end up eventually graduating college, and somehow, some way, God always was putting something like a blessing in front of me, and me not really seeing it. And I end up finding an agent, and I didn't know how the agent found me, but anyways, he ended up getting me some workouts. Like, I want to say like 13 workouts, like NBA workouts.
Nice.
And that right there, the fact that I was able to do those workouts boosted my ego tremendously. Like, oh my God, like I'm really on these NBA basketball courts. Meanwhile, and I'm still drugging and using. And I'm like, I'm seeing these other NBA players that are getting high. You know, like a lot of people don't understand that everybody, a lot of athletes are using drugs. Yeah. I hate to throw them under the bus but a lot of people, are doing their thing.
We've actually had a few NBA players come through here.
Yeah.
NFL players.
Yeah, pain pills. Yeah. A lot of people, being an athlete, to beat your body up. It beats your body up. You got to think that you've been playing these sports ever since you were a child. Yeah. In grade school, and then you go to summer camps, and then you're in high school, and then you do more summer camps, and you go further and further. You're beating your body up. So you're down to have a good time or to do some pain pills, and that's exactly what I did, man. And not knowing that I was headed down the wrong path, I just continued to do what I'm doing. End up getting into the pros and got introduced to cocaine. I got introduced to that, and it was like, oh my God, I found the best drug in the world again.
Better than ecstasy.
Better than ecstasy. And now, like, I kind of calmed down on the ecstasy, and now it was just weed, coke, and alcohol, and it just started spiraling. Like I don't know, man. How can I put it? I just wanted to enjoy myself. Yeah. I just wanted to be myself. I felt like I earned it. And I didn't think I was becoming an addict and alcoholic. I just felt like I was just living my life, and I deserved to live it. And there wasn't nobody telling me, hey, man, you need to slow down. You need to not have that drink tonight. Nobody ever told me that. If anything, they were like, here, bro.
Yeah.
Break that down, bro. Like, if anything, and, I come back home after the season's over with, and I'm really turning up, and then I'm playing basketball with a couple of guys in the summer camp, and I end up tearing my ACL. like, oh my God, that's the end of the world. This is it. And I got introduced to Percocets. Oh, lo and behold, I found the best drug in the world again. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna take this forever too. Yes, good, I'm good. Now I got my drugs, I got my little plate of drugs that I'm gonna take, and this is all I need now to keep me stable. Man, so I was tearing my body up, not even knowing it. I was destroying my body, man. And it just kept getting worse and kept getting worse. And now fast forward a little bit. I end up tearing my ACL, my MCL, my PCL. I tore all my ligaments in my right knee in a matter of 3 times. Because I kept, every time I tear it.
Just pushing it.
Yeah. Every time I tear it, I'll half-ass the rehab, and I'll still be using.
Rehab's tough.
Yeah, it is. But
yeah, it's not easy.
It was more a mental thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, I just kept like, I was broken and not knowing I was broken.
Right.
And it was just like, I didn't want to accept the fact that I was, okay, you're injured, your body's going to heal, but you need to slow down on the drugs. You need to get into this rehab. You need to take care of your body. You need to eat the right stuff. It wasn't none of that. It was like, no, keep turning up and keep turning up. And it got to a point where it was a point of no return. And I'll say after a couple years, it was about 2011, I kind of decided that I didn't want to play no more. This is after I played in the NBA, after I played overseas a little bit. I decided I really didn't want to play no more. But then, like my wife, we've been married 11 years last Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I've been knowing her since forever, since I was a child. And like for the first 10 years, she was just like, no, I'm not going to be with you because you're playing basketball, but you can be a booty call. When you come back home, you can be a booty call. And we did that, but during that time, it built our friendship. So it built a friendship where to the point where I was able to open up and tell her things that I wouldn't even tell my own family. But anyways, we end up getting together because I started getting pancreatitis. And the doctor was telling me, he's like, dude, you're drinking too much. You gotta quit drinking. So this is where it gets crazy. So he tells me I got to quit drinking. And I'm thinking, like, for what? And I didn't know what a pancreas was at the time.
Yeah.
So he tells me I got to quit drinking. And I'm like, for what? The drinking ain't causing the pancreatitis. Maybe because I'm doing too much coke and I ain't eating enough, it's causing the pancreatitis. But since he said I got to quit drinking, because I was drinking the top shelf Bombay and Tanqueray. So I'm telling myself in my head, maybe if I stop drinking this top shelf shit and go down and start drinking some bumpy face Seagram's gin, I'll be good. I won't get pancreatitis anymore. And I got it again. And he's just like, bro, like, you got to quit drinking. And I'm like, nah, man, maybe it's the clear liquor. Maybe I can start drinking Hennessy. I swear to God. So I started drinking Hennessy. I'm still going for pancreatitis. He's telling me the same thing. So now I'm going, I'd rather not go to that hospital. I want to go to a different hospital to get a different doctor to tell me something different. And he's telling me the same thing. And I'm like, it ain't the alcohol. Like, it's got to be the drugs. It ain't the alcohol. It's just the addict mind, man. I didn't know that at the time. So I went from Hennessy to NJ, still getting pancreatitis, man. And now he's like, man, bro, like 3% of your pancreas is dead. Damn. You need to stop using. I know that you're using. I see it in your blood. You need to quit drinking. You're going to end up being a diabetic or you're going to die. And I'm thinking in my head, you think that I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop. But I'm thinking in my head, maybe if I go find a little bit of help and figure this out, get some downtime, I can drink and get fucked up like a normal human being. So now I'm with my soon-to-be wife at this time. She never went to a basketball game ever because she didn't like me for playing basketball. She liked me for being my own player, my own person. So now she's kind of wondering how I used to play. So I got this bright idea. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to my agent and tell my agent that I want to go back and play. See if he find me a contract. And he goes, bro. See, at the time, he didn't know how bad my addiction was. He just knew I was an alcoholic and a weed head. So he's like, in order to get you a contract, you got to go back. You got to go to treatment. And in my head, like, what is treatment? Like, what is treatment? Like, what is that about? So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go to treatment. And in Minnesota, they got this thing called a Rule 25. Before you even get placed in treatment, you got to go get an assessment. And they ask you how much you drink, how much you use, how bad is it, and then they base it on that, and they tell you how many days you got. And of course I lied, and they gave me 21 days. And every time I went to treatment, I'll tell you right now, every time I go to treatment, I'm an A+ student. I tell the therapists what they need to hear. I tell the counselors what they need to hear. I raise my hand in group. I do my homework. I share. I'm a good leader. I know what I'm doing. Like, it's because it's a school.
Yeah.
It's like school. So I was always good in treatment. I'll get my certificate and I'll get up out of there. So this first time I went, it was just, I wasn't really feeling the treatment thing. I wasn't like you guys. Like, to hear these homeless people's stories and to hear all this BS is like, oh my God, man. Like, that's not me. And this is why I say that our addiction, it doesn't discriminate. Because I was discriminating my first time I went to treatment. Like, it doesn't care about how tall you are, how much money you make, or how you're living, and what your faith is. It doesn't discriminate. If you're using and you're abusing, you're going to go down. Yeah. And I didn't really realize that just because I had some money and I was able to get my drugs and I wasn't homeless made me not an addict. This person an addict because he's homeless. And I'm doing too much comparing. And I'm not really realizing that's what I'm doing. And I get out. I do my little 21 days and I get out. And as soon as I get out, I started drinking and started using right away because my plan was never to stop using. It was to get a contract to go back and play again. And when I get out, I realized, like, I really don't have the passion no more. Like, I'm really not happy no more. And I just got to rewind it. Like, all of this started happening in 2009. I had this girl that I was messing with because when I first got tore my ACL, I was messing with a chick, and I had this bright idea when I came back that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a pimp. Like, this bright idea, I'm gonna be a pimp. Not so say you're gonna be hoeing, but you're gonna go to the strip club and you're gonna dance, and I'm gonna pick you up. You're just gonna give me your money. Yeah. I just had the bright idea, like, this is gonna be cool. This is what I'm gonna do. And then while I'm doing it, I had this brilliant plan. That I'm gonna start selling cocaine too.
Oh shit!
All of that went to shit. It wasn't. I was doing more than I was selling, and having strippers live in your house was babysitting. It was the stupidest plan I ever had, man. Like, I hated it. But anyway, to make a long story short, she ended up getting pregnant. She gets pregnant, and she don't know that I'm doing coke, and that's another fucked up thing to use, and to sneak and use and not be able to enjoy your high and pretend like you're not high. It was horrible. It was miserable, and I hated it. But anyway, she ended up getting pregnant, and one time she was downstairs cooking, and I happened to go upstairs, and I take the 8-ball out, and I do a little bump, and I thought I cleaned up my mess, and I didn't clean up my mess, and I go back downstairs, and I start playing a video game, and then she goes upstairs, and she sees the mess, and she comes down, and she just started yelling, like, you motherfucker, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, oh, shit, and at this time, she's like 7 months pregnant, so I go upstairs, and I'm seeing the mess, like, oh, fuck. She's still yelling at me, and she's pointing her finger all in my head. And, you know, I'm a big believer. Men should never put their hands on a woman. Yeah. But what ended up happening was, I had this big bed, and the bed was so big you need the stairs to climb up on it, just 3 stairs to climb up on it. And she was just poking at me and yelling at me. I ended up shoving her out the way, like get out the way. Anyway, she ended up tripping over a shoe and hitting her stomach on a stair. And at the time, me being under the influence, I really didn't think nothing of it. I just thought she tripped and she'll be okay. Make a long story short, she ended up like, I got to go to the hospital. And I know. It took a long time for me to share the story, but I have to share it because it's part of my story. Yeah. And, you know, we went to the hospital and she ended up giving birth. And she gave birth and the baby came out. I named him. And he ended up dying in my hands in like 5 minutes. And I'm looking at the nurses like, are you guys going to save him? And they didn't do nothing. There was nothing they can do. So now right at that moment is when I lost my faith in God. Not only did you take my career from me, now you're taking my child from me. So what God would put any human through this type of pain? Like, what God would do that? And at that moment, I put God out of my life. And from that moment on, my life started going downhill, started spiraling. And I never took that in consideration. I just kept on indulging into the drugs. Yeah. And then the pancreatitis started kicking in. And then my soon-to-be wife, which is now, that's when she came into my life during the pancreatitis time. And she's a registered nurse. And it was just one particular time. She came to the hospital and she just happened to be there. And she shouldn't have been there. And she shook me and she looked at me. She bent over and she goes, now you're ready. And I'm like, ready for what? She was like, you ready for me to come and take care of you? I'm like, how the hell you find me? She said, I went to your mom's house and asked her where you were at. I'm like, what? And then I'm looking around for the other chick like, you shouldn't be at the hospital right now. But at that moment, she was like, just pack your stuff up and come to my house and I'm going to take care of you. And the first thing I thought in my head was like, she can save me. Because I'm in the dark. I'm starting to be in this dark cave and I don't know how to get out of it. I need somebody to save me. And I'm thinking that she can save me. I know she can save me. And what I realize now is a person can't help a person if a person's not willing to help themselves. For a lot of years, she was trying to help me. A lot of years. But you're in the mud and you ain't trying to climb your own self out of the mud. And the person's reaching out and you just not holding on to them long enough. It's like you gotta climb out the mud too and let me pull you up. And she was trying to, but I wasn't trying to budge. I was like, leave me down here. I wasn't trying to put in no effort, put it that way. I was not trying to put in no effort. I lost the effort to live and not knowing that. Like I got to the point, like I was telling you earlier, I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror. Like I hated myself. I hated what I became. I had this attitude of I'm never going to ask nobody for nothing because everything that I did for myself, I did on my own. So I don't need nobody's help. I can get out on my own. If anybody's going to help me, it's going to be my wife. And I lived by that. And my life just kept getting worse. So now we're going to fast forward to 2011. I went to treatment. So now when I get out, I relapse. 2014 is like, because this pancreatitis is killing me. It hurts. And now I got chronic pancreatitis. And he's like, 5% of your pancreas is dead, dude. You got to quit using. So now I'm thinking in my head, all right, I'm going to go to a treatment program, but I'm not going to go in Minnesota because everybody know me from playing basketball in Minnesota. So I'm going to go someplace that's lavish. I'm going to go to a luxurious place where they got a beach or a swimming pool and I can mingle with the girls. And that's what I'm thinking in my head. I want to go on vacation. I don't want to go to treatment because my plan is not to quit. It's just to get some downtime so I can go and get fucked up like a normal human being.
Right.
So once again, I found a place in Texas and I go, and the first time when I get there, it's like, oh, so now I got, when you go to treatment, you get a seed planted in your mind of what the program is about, what the steps is about. And once that seed is planted, you never really forget what the treatment program is about. So right. I knew what I was getting myself into when I went to that program. And it was like, all right, so when you go there, Jerry, what you're going to do is you're going to try to find God again. Because I took him out of my life in 2009. So I go there, and it's like, my plan is not to do the whole program. It's to get some downtime so I can get fucked up like a normal human being, but find God again. And maybe if I find God again, my life would be okay. So I go there, and I'm doing A+ student again, and I realized I forgot how to pray. Like, because I haven't prayed in so long, I was like, I don't know what to say. I'm cursing in my prayers. But anyways, what I realized is there's no right or wrong way of praying. As long as you reach out to your higher power of your understanding, he's going to hear you. Somehow, some way, you're going to feel it. And that's when I realized, like, you know what? I got to say whatever I got to say. I got to get him back in my life. And right then and there, those 30 days, I got God back in my life. And once I felt like I got God back in my life, it was like, oh, yes, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to do these 30 days now real good, and I'm going to go out. I got a plan. I got a master plan. I didn't do the 12 steps. I didn't open up the big book. I did everything with the therapist and the counselor, and I didn't get no sponsor. But since I understand the program and I got this 30 days downtime, I can go out and I can be normal. Man, as soon as they dropped me off at the airport, I relapsed. Like, I just relapsed. I got home, got yelled at. Like, dude, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you don't have this in the bag. Like, she's not really understanding the program, and I'm calling her at home. I'm calling her from the treatment program, and I'm telling her, oh, man, it's all good. I got this. You can keep doing whatever you're doing, but I got this. And I'm not really being honest with her. I just want to let her feel comfortable and safe that I got this under control. And I relapse, and I go on another little binge. 2016 is like, this pancreatitis, I got to go back to treatment again. And she's like, all right. So I'm like, I'm going back to the same spot in Texas. So I go there. And I tell myself this time, like, I'm going to do my 30 days. I got God in my life, but this time I'm going to open up more. I'm going to be more honest. I'm going to pull some more skeletons out of my closet. I'm going to try to read the big book a little more. I didn't understand what the 12 steps were. So I seen the 12 steps and I read them, but it looked like gibberish in the beginning. I didn't really understand what it meant. The 12 traditions, I didn't really understand what they meant. When I tried to open up the book, just a whole bunch of bullshit ass stories that I didn't understand. So it was just like, this is a waste of time. how do you stay sober? Like, how do people come to treatment and stay sober? And then you got these people coming in saying, I got 10 years, I got 30 years. And it's like, dude, you can't tell me that for 30 years you never used. You didn't go to a barbecue and have a drink. Like, on New Year's, you didn't cheers. Like, ever. For 30 years, you didn't do none of that. So it was hard for me to fathom that really even happening. Like, I didn't believe it. I felt like people were lying. So, you know, I do my 30 days, and now the alcoholic mind is like, Jerry, when you get dropped off the airport, do not have a drink. Do not have a drink. And I'm like, why do I got to think like that? You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to think like that. So I didn't have a drink at the airport. And the third time I went to treatment, I stayed sober for about 2 weeks. Yeah. And it was just something that was like, that pink cloud went away. And it was like, I thought I had it. I thought I can drink like a normal human being, but I couldn't. And once I had that first drink, it was like, all bets are off now. And since I had the first drink, everything else is open. And I just indulged right back into the drugs and right back into the drinking again. And it was like, it was still hell, man. I was still stuck in a dark place. I can see my wife's glow in her eyes start to go away. Like, the happiness that I knew that she had in me, I could see it. Like, she would tell you different, but I know the smile and I know the look of my wife being happy. And I just seen it start dwindling, and it was just like, the one thing that I do have that can make me happy, I'm about to destroy. I destroyed everything else in my life and didn't care. Now there's one thing that I'm working for, I'm about to destroy. And it was just like, oh, man, how can I fix it? Go to treatment again. So I tell her, like, man, I got to go back to treatment. And she was like, okay. I said, but I'm going to California this time. And she goes, I'm going too. And I'm like, no, you're not. And in my head, it's more like, you're not going because we're not about to sit in the circle, and I'm not about to share none of my stories with you, with everybody else in the circle. You're not going to treatment with me. And then she wanted to go, and she wanted to see if she was an alcoholic, and she wanted to go and figure out how she can keep me sober. Because she knows every time I go back home, I'm relapsing. And she don't know that she's playing a part in it. You know what I mean? So we find a place in California, we drove 29 hours all the way from Minnesota. We found a place in California in Huntington Beach. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it was bootleg. And we stayed there 24 hours. And because I've been in treatment before, I'm like, this is not the program for us. Like, this is not going to work. We got to just go back home and keep on doing whatever we're doing. Just go back home. And she was like, no, we're going to keep searching. So we stayed just driving around Huntington Beach, drinking, and we ended up finding another treatment facility. And it just so happened it was a co-ed treatment facility. I'm like, fuck. Damn, man, we got to sit in a circle together. Oh, man, I'm future tripping about what's going to happen in treatment. And come to find out, they had a man's side and a girl's side. So it kind of saved me, like, yeah. But for the first time, it was more like, now she can actually see what the program is all about, what recovery is all about. And maybe because she came with me, this can help me stay sober. So I was happy that we found the spot. We did our 30 days, and I swear, those 30 days was the best 30 days I had in treatment as far as all the other treatments I went to. And for the first time when I went to that treatment program, I finally started reading the big book with a couple people, and I actually started understanding the big book. Like, I started realizing, like, every fucking page is my story. Like, wow, this is what it's about. Everybody can relate to this. If you're an addict and you're an alcoholic, it don't matter about NA or AA, whatever A you want to call it. If you open up that book, your story is in that book. And that amazed me. Like, I can understand this book. Like, wow. The only thing I didn't know how to really do properly was the 12 steps. So now I understand the big book. I got God in my life. I got my wife in the program. She's understanding what recovery is about. Now let me try to do these 12 steps. So I'm sitting in group and I'm reading the 12 steps and I'm doing them in my head. Like, okay, I admit it. Okay, yeah. All right. Make amends. I can do that with myself. Okay, so now I'm going to see my counselor. And my counselor is like, so are you doing the steps? I'm like, yeah. She said, what step are you on? I said, I'm on step 11. And that's what she did. She just looked at me like she knows, which I didn't know. You shouldn't be that far. You should be on like step 3 or step 4, if anything, when you leave the program. Right. And for like the next 15 days, because we stayed 30 days, the next 15 days I was on step 11 every day. So every day I was on step 11. And she was like, I did all my work to the best of my ability at that time, but she just knew at that moment I was somehow, some way just full of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and she called me out on a whole lot of my shit, which I'm very, very grateful for. But anyways, we do our 30 days. We had a master plan on how we're going to stay sober. We go back home. We got this plan. All right. I didn't get no sponsor. I did the 12 steps. I thought I can open up this big book and do more than meditation. I didn't really understand that she had to work her program on her own, and I had to work my program on my own. I didn't understand that part. So when we go back home, we're working the program together. But so I'm sponsoring her, she's sponsoring me, and we're going to the same meeting together. So they tell you to change everything in your life. So in my head, it's like everybody I know in Minnesota are addicts and alcoholics, family and friends, everybody. So it's like, in order for me to change my life, I have to not mess with nobody. So literally, we went back home and I isolated myself. All I did was I went to work, came home, waited for her to get back from work, and then we will both go to a meeting and then go back home. And we just kept doing that same thing. And it's just like, dude, this is bullshit. If this is what recovery is about, I don't even want recovery. Like, this ain't cool. Like, I can't. Fun. That's right. This is whack. This is not recovery. I thought I was about to be recovered. This is misery. And that's why I was taking that to the heart. So I had this bright idea. You know what? Because we had this spot that we used to always go watch a bar, our Cheers bar. We go watch the football games, do sport games or whatnot. So I had this idea to just go down there and just hang out with some of the people, play bingo, and just hang out. We ain't gonna drink. We're good. So and I'm also thinking that maybe we can grab somebody and bring them to a meeting with us. Man, as soon as we walk into the bar, set myself up for failure at the beginning. Didn't even know. She started playing bingo right away. I can tell that nobody's interested in fucking going to no goddamn meeting because everybody's there to play bingo. And I'm just standing there while she's playing bingo, and I'm just looking at the alcohol, and I'm not really interested in drinking the alcohol, but it's like, what do you do at the bar? Yeah. So I had this bright idea. Let me get a non-alcoholic beer. Oh, you want O'Doul's? See, when I used to go back home after my programs, only a handful of people knew that I went to treatment. Everybody else thought I was just going on vacation. I was so ashamed to tell people that I was in recovery. I wasn't proud of being in recovery. I just thought I'd be talked about. So this particular person at the bar that worked there, when I told him, let me get an O'Doul's, he was trying to talk me out of it. And I was like, dude, it's non-alcoholic, bro. Like, I can drink the O'Doul's. Fast forward it. So it went from drinking one O'Doul's to going to the bar damn near every day or every Wednesday they play bingo to getting 3 O'Doul's on ice and drinking one right then and there. And it got to the point where he was like, dude, we don't have no more. And I'm like, who else drinks O'Doul's at a bar, bro? Like, he said, there's other people that come to the bar that don't drink. And I'm like, all right. So I look at him, I'm like, so can I go to the liquor store and buy some O'Doul's and you hold them in the back for me? He's like, nah, dude, that's against the law. I can't do that. So I was like, so what if I go and I buy the beers and you hold them in the back and I buy them back from you? Bright idea. He was like, all right, you can do that. All right, cool. So I go buy me some O'Doul's and he holds them back there and I'm coming in and out. A couple of days pass and I go up to him and I'm just like, let me get my regular, let me get my 1 O'Doul's, put the other 3 on ice. And he tells me they're sold out. And I'm like, dude, how are my O'Doul's sold out? And he goes, you're not the only person that drink O'Doul's. I said, but those are mine. You can't sell my beer to your other customers. And we got into this big argument. And right away in my brain goes, there's no more O'Doul's, dude. Just get a beer. I'm not a beer drinker. Like I like alcohol. I like to feel the burn. I like to know that I'm drinking. So right away, my brain is like, get a Corona. Like I said, I'm not a beer drinker, so I got the Corona, and I looked at it, and I just like, this ain't relapsing if I drink the beer. Relapsing is when I started getting high. Drinking this beer is not relapsing. And me and my brain is talking to you. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. But anyways, I ended up drinking some of the Corona, and right away, I didn't like the taste. My brain right away goes, let me get a shot of tequila gold. And I get the shot. I'm never going to forget this day. I get the shot, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm swirling it around, and I'm smelling it. And I'm like, dude, I'm asking myself, is this me relapsing? If I drink this, am I relapsing? And my brain goes, nope, it's not. And right away, I drink it. I just right away I drink it.
It's crazy.
And and my brain, I'm like, I didn't relapse yet. You know, and I'm looking behind me, and my wife she's not like, she's strong, and she's drinking fucking Red Bull and playing bingo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't drink too much because she gonna see me drinking and she's gonna end up relapsing. And all of a sudden, coming from the smoking room, they smoking cigarettes on the outside. My coke dealer comes and goes to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I gotta go piss. So I go to the bathroom. I see him. Oh man, for some reason, when you want to stop doing the drug, the person that you get the drugs from is always around, and they're saying they got the best shit all the time. Yeah. You need to try this. This is the best. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you hold it. Like, and it's just like, oh man, dude, why did I come in the bathroom? Like, I was setting myself up for failure, not knowing that's what I was doing. And right away, man, I promise you, he gave me some, and I did the whole thing in the bathroom, and they had a little window in the bathroom. I looked out the window, and I seen her playing bingo. And as soon as I did it, right away, I was like, fuck, I relapsed. And I knew right then and there I relapsed. And I went back out, and like, me and my wife is tight. We don't keep too many things from each other. But that wasn't even a good high. Like, all the whole time she was playing bingo, all I was thinking about is how I'm going to tell her that I just relapsed. Because I thought I had this shit under control. After all the times I went to treatment, I finally got her to come to treatment. She was going to save me. How the hell am I going to tell her that I relapsed? And she ended up knowing. She ended up knowing, like, she can just tell. She knew I did. And from that day forward, man, I tell you, like, it was the worst. It was the worst relapse I ever had. Like, she used to be a wine drinker. To me, my wife isn't an alcoholic. She went to treatment, and when she got to treatment, they talked her into thinking she was a functional alcoholic. And when she told me that she was a functional alcoholic, it pissed me off. I thought that they tricked her. Like, I didn't know what a functional alcoholic was. And when she told me that, since she supported me, I had to support her, because I just believe an addict, and I know I'm wrong, but an addict and alcoholic are people who do it till it ain't no more. They don't save it. She can save her wine. She can drink a couple glasses and save it for tomorrow, or save it for the next day after that. Me, I get a bottle. I tell myself I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna drink it anyway. If I get a bag, I tell myself I'm just gonna do a couple bumps right here. I'm just end up doing it and have to find some more the next day. So I didn't. When she said a functional alcoholic, that shit didn't sit well with me. But anyways, we went on about a 9-month run, and like it was the worstest run I ever. She started, like, to see her roll up the dollar and put it in her nose, and to see her switch her liquor from the wine to drinking Coors Light, and to see how much I was indulging into the alcohol and back to the cocaine and the Percocets again. It was like, oh my God, like, treatment ain't for me. Like, I can't, like, treatment don't save. Like, I started, like, treatment don't save me. How do I save me? I didn't have that answer. I needed to figure out, how can I save myself? My wife can't save me. Treatment can't save me. I'm too stubborn to ask for help. I don't want to listen. Every time I go to treatment and I get these tools, I take this tool and I move it over here, and I don't agree with this tool, so I throw it in the trash and I try to rearrange the fucking tools. I can't do treatment. Treatment don't save me. How the fuck do I get sober? And during that 9-month run, I'm thinking about all of that shit, and I tell her, I'm like, we got to go back to treatment. And she goes, I know. I said, we got to go back to Cali. She said, I know. I said, no, we got to move to California. And she just looked at me. I'm like, Minnesota's a whole relapse waiting to happen every time I get out of treatment. I can't. They say the geographical don't work for everybody, but it worked for me. Yeah. So we got one of them pack rats, and we packed all of our stuff up. We moved down here, and we did 62 days in treatment. And those 62 days, I honestly can say that I actually pulled all my skeletons out the closet. I finally decided to just take direction. I finally decided to just, like, let go and let God. Like, who cares if you get judged? Be honest, even if it's embarrassing. Be honest. Don't be scared to cry. You know, hug somebody. Like, I finally started realizing, like, I have to do these things to see if everything else doesn't work. So maybe if I try this one thing, which is follow direction, maybe I can stay sober. Just maybe. If this doesn't work, I can go back to doing what I'm doing. So we do it, and it worked. It worked. Like, following direction, opening up that book, and being honest and open with everybody, it works. Now, I have to be, it's an uphill battle. Do I like it all the time? No. Is it boring? Hell yeah, fucking recovery is boring. I hate recovery. But the honest God truth, this is the best boring life I ever had. This is the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life, and I enjoy it. I get to go to sleep happy every day. I get to wake up happy every single day. I can be honest and open with everybody around me. Everybody I know is positive and motivating. Like it's nothing but positive things. I have my dark moments where it's like I doubt the program because I get into my head and I feel like I got it. But because I've been in treatment so many times, I realize I don't got it. I got to play the tape through every now and then. Every once in a while, I get to that red light and I see the liquor store right there, and my mind is like, just one. Nobody will know, just one. And I play that tape through, and it's like, dude, no, it ain't even worth it, because and then I'll have to go find some drugs, and then my wife is gonna find out, and then I'm gonna bring her down, and then everything that I worked hard for, it'll be gone. Like, I went there, I graduated from the program, and I started writing a book. I've been writing a book for 2 years. I told my counselor that I wanted to be a drug and alcohol counselor. I just got my KDAC 1 last month.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. And everything I've been doing it's been positive. It's been hard work, but it's been positive, and I don't want that. I got God in my life. Like, I don't want that taken away. So it's like every day it's just one day at a time. Sometimes I get in my head and I just slow the day down, and sometimes it has to be a moment at a time. That's just recovery though, you know. And it's just accepting this. Life is going to be hard, no matter what you choose to do in life. It's going to be hard. Like sports, family, like it's never going to be an easy route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything good that you want in life, you're going to have to work hard for.
Have to. There's always pain behind the.
It's always pain. It's always pain, and sometimes you have to lose everything to gain everything. And like, I hate what I lost, but at the same time, it made me who I am today. Like, I wouldn't change nothing. That all the pain, all the suffering, all the tears, all the darkness that I had in my life, I wouldn't trade none of that, because it made me who I am today. And who I am today is a man, a different type of man, meaning a man who cries, a man who's honest, a man who's sincere, a man that's accountable, a man that loves and enjoy life. And it's like, I don't want that taken away from me. I don't want none of that taken away. I don't wish the pain that I went through on anybody, but sometimes you have to go through that pain to get to where you at today. And today is a wonderful place. I enjoy it.
Yeah, nice.
That was nice. Roller coaster.
Did you hear what he said though? He said stuff that comes from the like the motivational YouTube videos that we listen to.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
You got to choose your hard. Life is hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It
hard.
really is.
It's hard being broke. It's hard being a drug addict.
It is.
It's hard being in recovery. It's hard working.
It's hard working. Yeah.
It's all hard.
It's all hard.
This one guy, he says it's all hard. Choose your hard.
Yeah.
One of my favorite guys is David Goggins, but he gets me. He you know, at 49 years old, he gets me hurt at the gym.
I know that pain. I know that pain.
It's like, I felt something tear one day, and I was like, I was on a mission to beat my best time on the treadmill, and I was running, and it was 3 miles, and I had 10 minutes left, and I was crushing it, and I felt something just go. I was like, fuck, that's not good.
You know it.
Yeah, I knew it, but I was
That's the
like,
worst.
But I was like, I had David Goggins in my headphones, and he was like, talking about doing his ultra marathons, and he was, bleeding, and
Don't be a pussy.
Yeah, and I
don't
was
be a
just
punk
like,
bitch. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Who's your bitch?
Yeah.
You fucking turd.
I beat my best time, but I was out of the gym for 3 weeks.
Was it worth it?
I mean,
Yeah.
I do have a new record at 49 years old. I have
See, there
my
you
best
go.
record.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm out of, and I'm back. I'm finally, this was, what was this, like in March?
Yeah.
It's now June.
You hurt
now,
your shoulder before the bro. Come on, man. You're a wreck.
I tried to. I've been. We play on a men's basketball league at the MAP Center.
Yeah.
The MAP out in Garden Grove.
Garden Grove.
Yeah, It's they really focus on like the younger people there, but they have an adult league at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we play on it, and I have my son plays basketball, and I snuck all of like his varsity basketball players onto my team.
You cheated.
Yeah, it's a good time.
You cheated.
It's a good time.
Half of them are 18, so was it really cheating?
No. Well,
My
you
son-
need some young players on your team.
I do.
You
Yeah.
need some. You can't be a whole bunch of old heads.
No.
Get taken advantage
That's
of.
what I'm saying, bro. I can't run.
Plus, you need some of that. Oh, I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
some young legs going around.
these kids, they'll play like 4 games in a row.
I remember those days, man.
Yeah.
You know, your body, but now, man, your body don't recuperate the same.
No, it
Back
doesn't.
in the day, your body, man.
They just go. They'll go play a few games, go eat a freaking Chipotle burrito, and they're back like they slept.
Can't do that no more. I remember them days.
Yeah,
I remember them days.
it's fun though, man. It's I like, you know, we want to. The one thing I always wanted to do was play a season with my son, and I ended up playing 3 seasons with my son. We won one of the championships, so that was pretty dope. Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it was nice. I took out the biggest player in the game. I mean, the best player from the other team.
You took them out?
5 minutes. Yeah, we both got we got in a little scuffle. We got kicked out for 5 minutes.
There you go.
So
it was worth it. You took the best player out.
Yeah.
I did,
Yeah.
and I was not the best player on my team. I can tell you that right now. Yep, I sacrificed.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's a team player right there. Need somebody to sacrifice on the team.
Yeah, this dude was pretty big too. Like, I mean, we what ended up happening is we were fighting over the ball, and they had already called the jump ball, but I was, you know, I'm pretty muscular, so I wasn't gonna let I wasn't gonna let the guy rip the ball from me. And he tried to rip it one more time, and I just went and ripped it right out of his hands.
He didn't understand that grown man strength.
Yeah, he didn't.
You get older, you get a different type of strength to you.
The next thing I know, my elbow was planted in his throat.
You blacked out for a moment.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
And I came to, and I was like, my God, my son's best friend's mom is on the bench. I'm thinking all these crazy thoughts in my head.
Because you're about to kill the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I got up, he wasn't happy.
No.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah, and I realized, oh man, I actually don't want to throw down right now. Literally had like my son's best friend's mom,
Watching.
Christian school mom,
Ooh.
on the bench, and I'm the guy, you know, scuffling.
Kids, yeah. Good time.
It was fun though. We ended up winning that game. No, that was actually the championship game.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you got the trophy.
We got the trophy. It's in there. One of our buddies from that team passed away from fentanyl 6 weeks ago.
That's a scary drug, man.
It's very,
I didn't
very
know how
scary.
bad it was
Yeah.
until I came out here. That's a scary drug.
It's not like that out there in Minnesota.
No,
Well, how long have you been sober? Because it's getting
Almost
really bad now.
2.5 years.
Okay, so
August 18th to be 3.
the last 3 years, like, and especially in California, fentanyl is everywhere,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
in everything.
In everything.
Yeah.
Even in the weed.
Yeah, even
That's
in
what the
the
kids
weed.
are saying. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, how do you grow fentanyl in the weed, man? Well, I guess they're both plants, so that's a scary. It's scary, man.
Yeah, my that's why this podcast exists. My daughter, my 22-year-old daughter, found her soon-to-be husband, fiance, dead in his bed from fentanyl. He thought he was getting a pressed Percocet pill.
Wow, that's how a lot of them are going out too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
So I just took all of that, that pain, and energy, and turned it into this podcast, and
You did a wonderful job. I'll
we're
tell you
just-
that.
Thank
You did a
you.
wonderful job.
And we're just out trying to let people tell their stories. We're out
Yeah.
trying to bring awareness. We're trying to bring togetherness in a country. Unity in a
Unity.
country that's so effing divided. Because even you said it in earlier that drug addiction, alcoholism, it doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't.
And the coolest thing about like the 12-step program, right? We got this one tradition that it doesn't matter what religion, race, political views. We don't care about it, any of that stuff. We're like the only group of people that come together and
For one common goal.
one common goal.
That's what my book is about.
Yeah.
Finding different ways of you. I mean, to find another person that's just like you, to motivate you to get sober, and that can relate to your story and not pass judgment.
Yeah.
And that's a great feeling.
Like, we never go into a room of Alcoholics Anonymous and say, hey, who'd you vote for?
No.
You know?
No one cares.
Because I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
It don't. The politics don't even matter.
No.
It don't.
You know?
All that matters is just get you saved. Just get you some help.
Yeah.
What can I do to help you? That's what I love about recovery.
They
Pass judgment.
They didn't. They and I always say they, right? I say they. I'm usually talking about the government. They didn't know who they were fucking with when they let this fentanyl come through the border like this, and then it killed one of my family members.
Right.
You know. Now I'm here, and like the mission that I'm on is that 300 million people, which is basically whatever the population is of America.
Right.
Here's my voice. Here's what I'm saying, and that we all can come together. Because it's like, it's really sad how bad they've, divided we're weak, and they've divided us so bad.
Yeah, they did.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It should be embarrassing to both, to the general population,
Right.
that we've allowed them, both sides to do this to us.
To separate us that easy.
Mm-hmm. Over just some stupid ass bullshit.
Power.
Because they're power hungry.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, they're even trying dividing subcultures.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
We've got a lot of friends in the LGBT community.
Yeah.
That come on our podcast. It's like,
yeah, they're not
unbelievable that's happening to them.
Yeah. That's crazy how they're picking on them too.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't doing nothing to nobody. They're just enjoying their lives. Like,
Yeah.
why would you try to divide us like that?
Yeah.
Together we're stronger than that.
Yep. I found this. I was like reading this. I put this shirt on today because it says "Together We Rise" on the little tag.
That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
This company is like, we just actually hit the guy who's one of the models, was on our podcast last week.
Okay.
And we're putting it out today, but I was trying to get a sponsorship from them because I always wear their stuff.
Okay.
So we did a stupid ass commercial.
Yeah.
It's not stupid.
It wasn't stupid.
Like the clothing is cool, but like we are kind of
goofy.
idiots.
Yeah, we're goofy.
full on, like, nerds.
Yeah.
We're like two old men doing a podcast.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Really stoked on it.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm glad you guys invited me. I like it a lot. I'm impressed.
Yeah, Michelle
Speaks highly of you.
very highly of you.
Yeah, she's a good person.
Yeah,
she is.
she little. I come in here on Saturdays and meet with our controller, our CFO, and she comes up. She's like, "Yo, you come down here to my office for a minute. I got to tell you about this guy." It was you.
That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's amazing.
She is. She just wants me to be the best version of myself. That's what she keeps telling me on the phone. It's like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
She's a good person.
I mean, that's our mission as well on a daily basis, is to just wake up and be the best version of yourselves. And there's even days like I'm gonna, I can be vulnerable on here. Like today is a really rough day for me because, I'm having a tiny bit of problems in my home life, right?
Right.
And so my day isn't it's not amazing. Today kind of sucks.
Right.
I don't like fighting with my wife. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's never fun.
I know that. Yeah, I know that feeling.
We don't fight often, but when we do, it sucks.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that no matter what, I get up and I show up, and I'm not motivated to do the podcast today, but I'm disciplined to do the podcast.
That's
just
what it's
everything. I got up and went to the gym, even though I didn't feel like it, because that's what I do now.
Yeah.
So I listen to a lot of amazing, positive. I only feed this brain nowadays with good stuff, either good audio books or
Motivational
YouTube videos. I mean, every once in a while, though, I've got to put some gangster rap in there because you cannot become. Like,
what are you listening to?
I mean, I'll throw on
The
like
old school?
old school.
Yeah, because that new school isn't.
I don't understand it. I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I really don't get into it myself.
Yeah, I like, I'll throw on some like the other day I was rolling my son's friends, and we were rolling out to the game, and I was like, I need to listen to Biggie Smalls right now on the way. The 10 Crack Commandments. You know that?
No, I
you don't know the 10 Crack.
You don't know it?
You don't know the 10 Crack Commandments?
I don't know it.
That's a good song.
I'll listen to it on the way home today.
Yeah.
You gotta laugh.
Yeah. 10 Crack Commandments.
Yeah,
I'm on
10
it.
steps.
Yep.
How to sell it, how to cook it.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
10
How
Crack
not to get
Commandments.
caught.
How not
Jesus
to get caught.
Christ.
Yeah, 10 different ways.
Yep.
How to keep everybody in line.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the 10 Crack Commandments.
Oh.
Notorious B.I.G. You know who he is?
Yeah, I
right?
know who that
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Everybody
I
knows
was
who
like,
that is.
well, he's from Canada. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm right next to Minnesota there.
Yeah,
Winnipeg.
yeah, right across the
Winnipeg,
street.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what bring you all the way down here?
Crack.
Yeah.
Man, you was on a search. See,
Yeah.
never sleep.
Never sleep.
They never sleep.
Never
Fucking
sleep.
Crack.
Man, that had to been a
Crack,
hard
yeah.
run for you to make it all the way
Hard
to
run.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday he
Family's
said
fed
it
up.
was on a boat, but I couldn't figure out how he got on from
The boat.
Winnipeg to here on a boat.
It's just a saying.
Okay.
The slow boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the short bus, the boat. You know what amazed me in your when you were talking to us was that you had that confusion when you were a pro. I don't deserve to be here. I'm going to jeopardize everything because I got here myself, and I don't care if they take it away from me.
Right.
Like that confusion attitude.
Yeah. I think it's part of the lack of guidance that I had.
Yeah.
The lack of trust that I had in people. So it was like me asking questions or asking for help or letting somebody lead me. It's like honestly, I could say that I didn't really trust anybody.
Yeah.
I was scared of being judged, so that everywhere I went, I brung me everywhere I went. So it was like no matter who I ran into, whether it was a family member or somebody out in the street, I had trust issues. So it was just like from here on out, it's just me. Even in my household, I know it's not. I'm sober now, and I know it's not like that. What I know today is like I had a big resentment towards my family for a long time. I just felt like they didn't love me the way they're supposed to love me. But what I know now is all our families, when you're in your addiction, they just love you the best way they can. They don't know how to love you the way you think you feel deserve to be loved. They just trying to love you the best way they can, and sometimes they mess up at it.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, it was like, oh, man, that's a resentment.
Everyone's still alive?
Yeah.
Brothers? Everybody's
Yes.
sober? Or?
All but, well, I didn't put this in my story, but, my dad, he was a heavy drinker, but he was a God-fearing man. He was all about God. Like, my mom and my dad was like oil and water, and he was all about the Bible and into the God thing, but he was a heavy, heavy drinker. And he started having strokes and heart attacks, and the doctors telling him that when you've been drinking for so long, so many years, it's like you have to have that drink. Your body wants that drink.
Yeah.
So I guess he had been drinking since like 18, and now he turned like 70, 69 or 70, and the doctor's telling him that he's got to quit drinking. And he tried to quit drinking, but because of that, it was like a double-edged sword. If he stopped drinking, he was going to die. If he don't stop, he was going to die.
Yeah.
And he ended up passing away in 2016 at 73 because of alcohol. Like, he had a heart attack, but it was all that heavy drinking. And then 6 months later, my mom also, she remarried, and she'd been married for 25 years. And then after my dad passed, 6 months later, my stepdad passed. He got off work and went to the bar and had a drink, and he had a heart attack and fell off the bar.
Oh, wow.
And you would think that a person like me would take that and embrace it and try to quit drinking. But, alcoholic mind, and you like, let me indulge a little more to ease the pain. And it didn't ease the pain. It's just created more darkness.
We also start to think that it's probably not going to happen to us.
Yeah. I had that feeling. I didn't want to believe. It was, I swear, man, when I kept getting pain, I swear I went to the hospital at least over 17 times because of my pancreas.
Yeah.
And like, I could swear to you, like, it wasn't the alcohol. I just thought I thought it was my depression. I thought it was my lack of eating. I just thought it was everything but the alcohol. It could be the cocaine because
you probably have a gene that the alcohol really fucks up your pancreas. There is a gene that like alcohol just destroys it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
You're scaring me right now.
You know,
Wow.
you
I
don't
hope I don't have the gene.
Yeah, you don't want to drink anymore anyway.
No, I
Life's
don't.
so good.
It is.
You know?
It is. It's a wonderful life, man. Like, I couldn't ask for nothing better, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, every day is a blessing, man.
I like, not to go back to gangster rapper Notorious B.I.G., but there's that song, That Sky's the Limit. Like, I
Yeah.
really, truly believe, like, when I'm sober, like, I can't believe what the heck happened in my life. December 9th of 2000, I was broke, trying to sell meth. I was a horrible drug dealer. I was driving to go pick up. I've been running and gunning for 2 months straight, hardcore. I was going out to pick up from these Chicano gang members, and I rolled my car off the 10 freeway in Pomona, just down an embankment. Gnarly.
Wow.
Probably wasn't. I don't even know how I survived because I didn't wear seatbelts back then.
Wow.
3 days later, my daughter was born, my 22-year-old daughter. But the night that she was born, I had got out of the hospital, beat up, staples in my head, all stitches everywhere. It's just beat up. I was sitting in a bar in La Puente in Los Angeles with the same Chicano gang members. I smoked some weed that night, and I didn't really smoke weed. And I started looking around the room, and I'm like, I'm sitting in the room with stone cold killers right now, and I'm a fucking white boy. Like, these were straight Chicano gang members, dude, and I was the only white dude sitting in the room with fucking punk rock creepers on. You know what those are?
No.
Those funny ass big soled shoes that punk rockers wear.
Oh, okay. The big boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
And I'm in there, and I had one of those Motorola flip phones. I called my mom, and my mom was bawling when she answered the phone, and I said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "You just had a little baby girl." And I looked around the room, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I knew at that moment that if I continued down that road, I would either be dead or spend the rest of my life in prison. And I made a decision to go be a dad.
That's awesome.
My journey hasn't been perfect. I have had
Right.
lots of treatment and relapses along the way, as you did. But because of that one decision I made, Hope by the Sea exists.
Yeah.
I started a treatment center when I was 2 years clean and sober, which was back in 2002.
Wow.
It's grown into 6 treatment centers now.
Over 200 beds.
200 beds.
Yeah, over.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I've helped, probably
Over 5. Yeah,
I think
well
like
over
10,000.
Save
At
lives
least.
all day.
At least.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And now I sit in here and I do a podcast and I yell to the world that, like, we got to do more, because 300 people are dying every day from fentanyl. That's an airplane. That's a big ass airplane
Going down.
crashing every single day. If that happened like 3 days in a row, if 3 planes crashed 3 days in a row, the government would shut down air travel.
Yeah.
They
You got a
can.
point. I didn't look at it like that. You got a point.
That's why I'm pissed. Why are they doing? And it's not like thugs and people like me or low bottom drunks dying. This is like your next NBA player,
Right.
your next NFL player. This is our next politicians, leaders, cops, firefighters. Not that I love cops, but they're. I like them a lot better now that I don't run from them,
Right.
and
I
they
hear
like
that.
and they like me better now that I don't run
That's
from
good.
them.
That's good. That's a good one. I like that.
I mean, they're a necessary evil, right?
Fuck yeah, they are.
I
There's
liked
anarchy
though.
without
I
it,
just
bro.
liked the old days though. Like when I say the old days, I mean like the 90s when like cops knew, like if you were playing cops and robbers, like real cops and robbers, not like kids in the backyard playing it,
Right.
but the real thing, right? You knew that if you were running from the police, that there was a potential that you were going to get killed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I don't know what's going on. Like we really literally used to run from the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you could spoon up. Now you could spoon up anywhere.
Huh?
They're not caring. You spoon
I know
up
that's
anywhere.
what I'm saying, and that's my point.
You can do
I
anything.
go down to Garden Grove where we play basketball with elementary to high school age kids, and right off the freeway right there's 30 people just shooting fentanyl, just right on the side of the street.
That's scary.
It's crazy.
And we can't do anything about it.
They can. They just don't want to. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
It'd be too much work.
Too much work.
Yeah, something's off.
They swung the pendulum the wrong too far.
Yeah, they did.
It was over here. It was too far over here. It's
Got stuck on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's nothing they're doing, but it's all good. I mean, we just want to. I want people to get help, and my point with that is I actually don't think that the police can help this very much, anyways. We need to be able to have funding for those kind of people, that they can have treatment.
Right.
Because by the time you get to that level, you have no insurance, you have no money. Help is really not that available. Government run treatment centers are not very good. They're not effective.
Yeah. And a lot of insurances don't really be wanting their clients to get treatment. Like they give them 2 weeks and then kick them out. It's like, man, this dude been in and out of treatment for seven times.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Give the guy a year in treatment. It does, it's going to cost a little bit more for the first 90 days, but they're not going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. I mean, that guy that does 2 weeks. He can do it again. He go relapse for 2 weeks and come back for 2 more weeks.
I hate that so much. I hate that, but it's like, there's nothing that I can really do.
No.
Especially the ones that come in treatment and then they stay and they're like, I got this. They're like, hold on, dude. Just hold on. No, my insurance is about to end. My insurance, I got to go. Like, dude, just hold on. Your brain is just now clearing up.
Yeah.
Now, once your mind starts clearing up, now you got to do away with your wreckage so you can start opening up and understanding who your true self is.
Yep.
A lot of people, I don't know, man. Some of them, like a lot of clients are scared to look at themselves when they're sober.
Yeah,
They're
for
scared.
sure. I will tell you one thing that we don't do is we won't kick somebody out just because the insurance stops paying.
That's a blessing.
If they're not ready to go, I'll give them another week. They're still not ready to go, I'll give them another week.
That's awesome.
As
That's
long
awesome.
as they are willing and putting in the work.
That's awesome. A lot
Yeah.
of treatment facilities won't do that.
I mean, I think that's why my beds stay full and my bills stay paid. Honest to God.
I believe it.
I
I believe it. You're doing a wonderful thing. I tell you that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where Shane went. He probably got up. He probably had to go pee or something.
Yeah.
He's getting old. Right.
Oh man.
This was a great episode, man. Stoked that
I
you came
enjoyed
in.
it. Yeah, I'm glad you guys invited me. I'm glad Michelle talked me into coming.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, I was like, oh man, I don't think I can do it. They're about to be live. I'm kind of scared. And then I was at home and I was telling my wife, I'm like, babe, this is that good scared. This is that excitement. Like when I was ready to play basketball, and once I get on the court, I get in my zone. This is me. This is what I do. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So I'm glad you guys had me come.
I wouldn't even have known you were nervous. It was really, really powerful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can get in there. It took me out of my funk too. Like I was today. I was in a funk.
He said the same thing when he seen how tall I was. He was like, "Oh man, I was having a bad day, but when I seen you,
Yeah, I
brightened up
I
my
told
day."
him. I said,
If I can bring that positive energy,
Yeah,
that
you
mean,
did.
hey, I
I
did my
hugged
job.
up.
Well,
I
I
hugged
mean,
up
I was
today.
just happy that you didn't stand up because you were the same height as me. Sitting
Yeah.
I was
down.
about to. I was about to.
You come up to you're gonna come up to his belly button, bro. You can breastfeed. You can breastfeed standing up. No, that's a possibility.
No, what sucks is you're literally a foot
And a little
like
bit.
4 inches
Yeah.
off. 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 3 inches. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
12, 13, 14,
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
inches.
That's a lot. You're a short guy, man.
I am a short guy.
You're like a tall midget.
Yeah. I
I'm
always
sorry,
well,
that's
I,
cute.
No, I mean, I do always tell people that I play center. I'm like the Shaquille O'Neal of the midget basketball league.
I was just about to say that.
Our hoops are like literally like 6 feet though. So like, I'm dunking on those.
Yeah,
You
you're
mean the
dunking.
ones
He's
downstairs?
hanging.
No, I'm talking about in the midget league.
In the
Oh,
he
my
hangs
God.
Am
on
I
the rim.
allowed to say that?
I don't think so.
What about it? 'Cause I'm short.
Little
I'm
people.
a short person.
You're right. You're okay then. There's little people. No. I think it's all good.
Yeah.
Pete is on our case already. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're fine.
Fucking killed a cat.
By accident.
How did that feel?
It was an accident. Terrible.
I did that on accident under the influence.
You did, yeah.
But it was last minute. I was drunk, of course, driving, and my wife was like, "There's a cat." It was too late to swerve.
Right? Dude. Yeah.
She's like, "Go back." I'm like, "It's dead already."
Yeah,
He was trying to put the head back on.
Oh,
I squished
you ripped the head off?
No.
Bro, close.
Oh my God,
Close.
you murdered it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
My own, I murdered it. Yeah. Then I
Well, we're not
slid it down the
perfect.
hall.
We're not perfect.
No, we're
Yeah,
not.
no, we all make
Yeah,
mistakes.
yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. And see, that's the thing. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, we all make mistakes.
And
That's it. That's all I got. I don't know what the rest of it is.
we all do make mistakes.
Yeah.
But you know what was nice? You had a like your first time in treatment, you found something and you kept it. And then the second time you found something, you kept it. You kept building on your life.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize that until the last time I went to treatment.
Yeah, and then you found God and you built on that and you did the 12 steps. So you just kept building up, bro.
Yeah.
Thank God for your wife, for the woman.
Yeah.
She was
most
a big part of
definitely.
saving you,
Yeah, she was patient too.
Is that
right?
your wife that came in here?
No.
Who was that?
I have no idea.
He just happened to look back there. Probably the cat.
Who was that?
I thought, is your wife with you?
No, she didn't come with
She
me.
didn't come with you. Wow, my mind.
She was probably at home watching. I told her to watch it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, nice. Good, yeah.
So she was
It was
probably
a
right there in
powerful-
spirit.
Yeah. Wow. It was a
She
powerful
she
story.
She was very patient. I thought I was losing it for a minute.
Yeah.
there. And the fact that she stayed strong and stayed patient, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't complain on that part. I can't complain on. And even to be married for 11 years, it's like the time went so fast. It's, oh my God, 11 years.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a long time. I'm just thinking about the wall right now and where you're gonna sign. I'm thinking maybe like down there at the bottom where nobody's.
Bro, he's going to have to lay down.
Right?
Get him a fucking pillow for his elbow. You know? He's signing dead center straight up.
You know, you got to make tall jokes every once in a while.
Yeah, you got
Only short people do that.
I know, right? I love this guy.
Yeah, it's good. This is a good day.
Yeah,
It's a good day. Yeah,
day.
yeah. I felt the same
There's
thing
not a
when you
lot of
walked
people
in.
though that like most people are considered short to you.
Yeah. Everybody's
Like
considered
a
short.
6 foot tall guy. That's short.
You know the crazy part? When you see somebody this tall, you guys get that eye contact, and it's like, yeah, me too. Like, it's no matter where you go.
Yeah.
You can not know this person. You can be at the grocery
Yeah,
store. And
I
he's
feel
tall
that
like
way
you.
with guys that are 6'5", bro. So I know kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
It ain't
But
the
not
same.
quite.
6'10".
No, that's
real 6'10",
yeah, real
not
6'10".
like the basketball 6'10".
Yeah,
A real 6'10", all of it.
The real 6'10".
yeah.
And it's just, honestly, it was a gift and a curse. I hated it when I was growing up because I was uncoordinated.
Yeah.
But every time, in grade school, you stand in line and they got two captains and they pick you. They always wanted to pick me, and it's like, dude, I'm not good at this sport.
Right.
I don't want to play this sport. And then they find out that I'm not good at it. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna get picked no more.
Yeah.
But then I had to grow it. I had to grow into being comfortable
Yeah.
in my own skin.
Right.
And it took a lot of trial and tribulations, but
Yeah.
I got there.
It does. I mean, and that's, I actually used to tell people that because I'm the exact opposite. I was very athletic, like elementary all through up until 9th grade. And then everybody outgrew me. But I was super athletic. Like I could beat everybody in every sport up until that point,
I know that feeling.
I was pretty good at basketball too, though, for a short guy.
Were you?
Yeah.
Jump shot?
I just take it to the hoop,
He's super. He's aggressive.
bounce off your
Yeah, he
chest.
looks like he's aggressive.
Yeah, he's aggressive.
He
He's
looks like
aggressive.
he's
When
just
you're
gonna
aggressive
go.
at anything, you kind of dominate something.
Yeah.
You could. Yeah.
People just size you up.
Playing
like, nah,
playing
I'm
with a
not
chip
holding
on your
him.
shoulder.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for the regular size, man, and I'm backing them down. I'm usually stronger than most of
Yeah.
them, But if you get a real basketball player on the court, it's like I can't do nothing, like nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Like even somebody like Derek Fisher, who was not super tall, but he was just an athletic beast.
And it's not even just that though. It's the longer you play any sport, the slower the game gets. it becomes a mental game. Like you can pretty much predict what a person's going to do before they even do it because you've been mentally playing that sport forever.
Right.
And it took me, I remember when I first started playing pro, it was like, I was getting knocked around like a ping pong ball. Like these dudes they're going 100 miles per hour. And then as time passed, I started realizing like they're picking their spots. Mm-hmm. Like they know where to go at the exact time and when to turn and when to twist. And I'm not doing that. I'm just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Trying to go over here and not realizing I got to pick my spots and slow the game down a little bit. And once I started doing that, I started being able to understand the game a little more. But it took some work.
Cool. Two last questions. Did you ever have to guard Kobe Bryant?
No. And I'm glad. No. And I'm glad.
Second question, it's basketball related, but do you think that college maybe, I don't know if they do or don't do this, but maybe should have a better mentorship program for somebody like you that comes in and, has a different life experience? Are they doing that?
Yeah. As far as athletes go, I know the college I went to, they didn't actually have a mentor. They had assistants that'll always assist you at your convenience at any time you wanted it. But honestly, it's pretty much up to the athlete. That'd be awesome to have a mentorship. Like I had a mentor. And he had my back, and he used to always tell me positive things.
Yeah.
And it was just, I just had that attitude of, if my family can't tell me these things, I'm not going to listen to you, bro. Even though you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not right, but even if you're right, I'm not going to listen to you. If my family that loves me dearly is not telling me this, what makes you think that what you're telling me right now I should be doing? And it's just the selfish attitude that I had.
Yeah. But
I was just a person that had to learn the hard way.
Right. Well, God's got bigger things for you now.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Like
like you said, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I just can't believe it, man. I look back on my life. It's the last 22 years, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, how did this happen?
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I just kept, I went after my dreams. I had a dream of, when God left me here after that car accident and my daughter, I knew he left me here to help other people that suffered from the same thing that I suffer from,
Right.
Which is, not drugs and alcohol. That was the symptom.
Yeah.
That's what
solution.
I did. That was my solution. Yeah, that was my solution.
Yeah. Right.
Really what it all boiled down to is what goes on in between this,
Most
my
definitely.
ears.
That's what my problem was.
And I don't know how to deal with pain. I don't know how to sit through anger. I don't know how to,
emotions.
I didn't know how to deal with them at all.
Neither do I. I didn't either. And I didn't want to deal with them.
No.
It was too painful.
Yeah.
It's too hard to look at. Like, oh my God, to see all of the nasty things that's going through my head that I'm actually living. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it.
And then I hate myself for not being able to handle it.
Yeah.
And looking in the mirror, and I'm like, you're such a fucking piece of... And I would talk to myself like this.
I did the same thing.
I still do every once in a while because I'm definitely
There's nothing but positive things now.
Yeah, for the most part. Every once in a while, when I catch myself in that funk,
right,
I pull myself out. And that's where I think discipline is so important, because like we can be motivated to go to the gym and we can be motivated to do this, but like that motivation comes and goes.
Yeah, it does.
But
you get discipline in recovery.
Yes, you do.
You get a lot of practice in recovery. And I think that's what I had. I had to humble myself and take that discipline. And honestly, the best thing that happened to me was actually going to school when I was younger and actually playing basketball, because I was able to get taught.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to get taught. Yeah. Because I had all the answers up in here.
Right.
But once I actually let go and let God, it just became a lot more easier, man. A lot more easier.
Yep. Good shit.
Great shit.
Yeah,
Great
man.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down, man.
No problem.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
I don't have to reach very far for him.
No, you don't.
Woo. Yeah.